I pour my coffee like I always do, black no sugar, same chipped mug with the faded ranch logo. The sun's not even up yet, just bleeding a soft red line over the east pasture. It's quiet. He's still asleep. The dogs haven't barked, but something's off. There's a paper on the counter folded crisp. Not the usual stack of bills or feed invoices. It's sitting too neatly. Left there for me or maybe forgotten. I don't touch it at first. Just look. The heading catches my eye, warranty deed, transfer of property. My stomach tightens. I blink once, then twice. I unfold it slowly. My name is there twice. First as grantor, then again misspelled beneath a signature line. The signature isn't mine. It looks like mine, but not enough. The A is looped too high, and the tail on the Y, I've never curved it that way. Someone tried to forge my name. I look at the date, 3 days ago, notarized in Dallas County. I'm in that moment just frozen. Mug still in my hand, coffee rising with a curl of steam. Then I see her name, recipient Tessa Lee Harmon. The Mistress, the yoga instructor / business consultant who's been texting my husband's smiley faces and screenshots for months. He denied it, of course. Said she was just helping with online marketing. That I was paranoid, insecure, but her name's on the deed, not in pencil, in ink, legal, official. I set the coffee down, carefully, not a drop spills. I walk down the hall to our bedroom. He's still snoring, face half buried in my pillow, one arm dangling off the bed like a man with no shame. I stand there for a second. I don't speak. I don't scream. I just breathe. He forged my name, tried to transfer my ranch, my father's land, to his mistress. It's not shock I feel, not even pain. It's something colder, like the moment you realize a snake's been in your bed the whole time. I go back to the kitchen, sit down, fold the paper again, same as I found it, slide it beneath the placemat. Then I pick up my phone. My cousin Alyssa is a paralegal in Houston. She answers on the second ring, her voice groggy. I don't say hello, just, can you look up a deed fast? I give her the parcel number. She's quiet for maybe 30 seconds. Then she exhales. Claire, your name's on the old title, but this new one, it's in county records. As of Monday. My hands don't shake. My voice stays flat. What does that mean? It means they filed it. Whether it holds up depends. But if he used your signature without consent, that's fraud. It can be reversed. Especially if the asset was protected. A pause. Was it protected? I think of the trust. The one I filed 6 months ago using my maiden name, back when he laughed and said prenups were for people with trust issues. I never told him. Didn't need to. I was just following my lawyer's advice after I inherited the last 80 acres from my uncle. I don't answer Alyssa yet. I just say, can you send me the document package? It's coming to your email now. Claire, listen, don't confront him yet. Lock everything down first. I hang up. My coffee's gone cold, still sitting there, same mug. But it tastes different now. Bitter. I dump it, rinse the sink. Then I open the laptop. I change my banking passwords, revoke his access to the ranch payroll, transfer the employee roster to my backup system. He thinks I'm a rancher with soft hands. He forgets I used to manage supply chain ops for 3 counties before I ever touched a horse. He thinks he's clever. He thinks I'm asleep. 30 minutes later, he walks into the kitchen, hair messy, shirtless, smiling like nothing's wrong. Morning, he says, rubbing his eyes. You didn't make my coffee. I look up from the laptop, smile softly. Didn't think you'd need one. He shrugs, opens the fridge, pulls out the orange juice. He doesn't notice the folded deed is gone. Doesn't see the envelope I slid into my purse. Doesn't hear the quiet rage humming behind my silence. He kisses my cheek like everything's fine. Like we're fine. I let him, because he just lit a match. And I'm about to hand him the gasoline. Friday night, we host dinner. It was his idea. Let's have the Harrisons over, he said that morning, pouring himself coffee like he hadn't tried to steal my life 2 days ago. You've been so tense lately. Tense. That's what he calls it. Not suspicion, not betrayal. Just me being off. I say yes because I want to see how deep the lie runs. I roast a chicken, light the candles, set out the good wine glasses, the ones we got on our 5th anniversary. He doesn't remember that, of course. I do, I always do. By 6:45, the Harrisons arrive. Jenna's in another off-the-shoulder dress. Tom brings a bottle of wine that costs more than our feed bill. We smile, we hug, we sit. I keep the conversation light. Weather, drought, forecast, someone's fence getting cut up north. Then Jenna brings her wine glass to her lips and says, I heard a little birdie's thinking about expanding south. Big move, David. I don't look at him. I watch the steam rise from the roast instead. David chuckles, shrugs like a man who's pretending not to gloat. Oh, you know, just planning ahead, consolidating assets, preparing for the future, Tom laughs. Man, you own half the damn town at this point. What's next? A hotel, David raises his glass. I believe in building and protecting what's mine. My stomach clenches. Not a word about me. Not a word about our land. I sip my wine. Force a smile. You always were good at drawing lines. He glanced at me. Quick. Sharp. But the smile returns. Nothing wrong with a clear title, right, babe? The table erupts in polite laughter. I don't join in. Jenna doesn't notice. She's too busy fawning. And I heard someone might be leasing out part of the lower pasture. Tessa said she stops. The air shifts. David's smile drops just a hair. I set my glass down slow and quiet. I didn't know Tessa had opinions about my land. Silence. David clears his throat. She's consulting. Just helping with paperwork. Tom snorts. Damn. She consults everyone's paperwork these days. Jenna elbows him, trying to laugh it off, but I see her eyes flick from me to David and back again. She's starting to realize something's wrong. But David, bless him, he doubles down. He leans forward, elbows on the table like a politician giving a toast. Honestly, Claire's lucky. I handle all the boring stuff. Bills, taxes, land management. She gets to focus on the horses. He looks at me like I should thank him. I feel it rising heat under my collar behind my ears, but I don't give it to him. I pick up the serving knife and start carving the roast. Funny. I don't remember asking for a manager. Just a husband. Tom lets out a low whoa under his breath. David chuckles, but his voice is tight. Well, you've got both. I just believe in efficiency. Jenna's done eating. She's picking at the linen napkin in her lap. The rest of the meal is quiet, polite chewing, clinking forks. Someone compliments the potatoes. After dessert, David offers coffee. I decline. He walks them out with forced laughter and promises of a double date soon. I stay in the kitchen, hands in the soapy sink. I scrub one plate for 5 minutes. Not because it's dirty, because I need something to do with my hands. When he comes back in, I don't look at him. You humiliated me tonight, he says. No warmth in it, just a cold fact. I rinse the plate, set it in the rack. No, I just didn't play along. He walks over, lowers his voice. This thing with Tessa, it's professional. Don't read into it. I dry my hands. Finally turn to face him. So, the new deed in her name. That's what now? Professional consulting. He blinks. There it is. The pause, the half second where he realizes I know. What are you talking about? He tries. Flat, cautious. I step past him. Forget it. I'm tired. He grabs my arm, not hard but firm. Claire, what did you see? I look at his hand. Then at him. You think because I'm quiet I'm blind. But I read contracts. I build them. You should have remembered that before you tried to sell what you don't own. I pull away. Go to the bedroom. Shut the door. I hear him pacing. I hear a drawer slam, but I don't move. I lie on top of the covers in my jean and staring at the ceiling. Tomorrow, I'll file the freeze orders. I'll email Alyssa the notarized copy. But tonight, I just want the silence. Because that laughter at dinner, it's the last time he'll laugh at my expense. The next morning, he leaves early. He thinks I'm still asleep when he pulls out of the driveway. I hear the truck, the gravel under his tires. That engine's too loud to sneak away in. Good. I want time. I walk through the kitchen, coffee in hand. I don't drink it, just hold it. Warm now. Steadying. I go straight to the study, the one he calls his office, though the only things in it are unpaid invoices, empty folders, and ego. I start with the desk drawers. First one, receipts, loose batteries, a broken watch. Nothing. Second, legal pads, folded envelopes. Junk mail. Third, bingo. A manila folder. Labeled in his handwriting, Property Ranch. He's not even trying to hide it. I open it. Inside, 2 full copies of the deed, one with both our names dated last year, the other new, filed, notarized, and listing me as grantor. Here is grantee, that same signature, that same wrong A. I scan the notary line, fake, at least fake in spirit, real ink, real stamp. But no way I stood in front of a notary and signed this, which means forged, filed, deliberate, and now provable. I pull out my phone, snap pictures of every page. Then I open the bottom drawer. There it is. The folder with her name, Tessa L, in big black marker. Inside notes, printed emails, itinerary plans, a damn vision board for our land. She sketched out layouts for an Airbnb, labeled rooms, yoga barns scrawled across my hayshed. I flip to the back, there's a list: replace fencing, remove livestock, rebrand online domain pending. My hand tightens on the folder. I don't throw it, I don't scream. I just put it back exactly how I found it, because now I want them to keep pretending. Let him think I'm still the quiet one. Let her think she already owns it. I grab the phone again. Call Alyssa. She picks up fast. I'm reading the trust file now, she says before I even speak. You timed it perfectly. The inheritance portion gave you full discretionary rights. David never had joint ownership after the update, so the deed's invalid in spirit. Yes, but he filed it. So we need to reverse it on paper. That'll take work. What kind of work? Petition for fraud, asset freeze, full documentation. But Claire, this is fixable. He tried to transfer something he never legally owned. I sit down at the desk. Look out the window at the pasture. One of the horses is trotting the fence line, alert, restless, like she knows something's off. I found her plans, I say. She wants to gut the whole place. Alyssa exhales. God, that woman's got no idea what she's walking into. Neither does he. I hang up. Later, around noon, he texts. Running late. Dinner around 7. Want me to grab wine? I don't answer. Instead, I go to the barn. Check the locks. Reconfirm the security cams are still uploading to the cloud. I'd set them up last month after the water lines mysteriously got shut off for a day. He thought I was overreacting. Paranoid, he said. Now I'm just prepared. I walk to the side office where the ranch contracts are stored. Grab my copy of the trust papers, original signature, legal seal, filed and timestamped 6 months ago. It lists me, Claire Ann Madsen, as the sole managing trustee of the full 228 acres. David's name? Nowhere. Not even as beneficiary. I put the folder in my lockbox, slide it under the false panel in the linen closet, let him try to find that. By 6:45, he's still not home. At 7:12, the gate alert pings my phone. He's back. He walks in like nothing's wrong. Kisses the side of my head. Sorry, babe, ran long. Let's do takeout. I nod. You order. I'm going to shower. He orders Thai. I hear him on the phone cracking jokes with the hostess, telling them to make it extra spicy just like my girl. I close the bathroom door, sit on the floor. I don't cry. I breathe in, out, in again, because I'm past the part where I feel bad. This is the part where I prepare. Tomorrow, the lawyer gets the evidence. Next week, the bank freezes the accounts. And soon David's going to find out exactly how much I raid when I go quiet. By morning, I've memorized the whole forged deed, every false loop, every crooked tail on the Y. It's burned into my brain like a brand. I skip coffee. Don't need the calm today. I need clarity. At 8:01 a.m., I call Alyssa. She picks up like she's been waiting. Ready, she asks. I have everything, I say. Photos, timelines, property tax history. Even her renovation plans. Perfect. Email it now. I'll prep the fraud packet and fast-track a review. Once it's submitted, we can request an emergency freeze on any transactions tied to the ranch. I open the desktop, drag everything into a shared folder. Label it what it is, David. Unauthorized transfer. Evidence. Within minutes, she's already replying. Got it. Sending it to Marcus now. Marcus is her supervising attorney. I've never met him. Don't need to. I just want him to bury this man in paperwork. By 9:15, the call comes through. Marcus himself. Calm voice, slight southern drawl. I can tell he's older, one of those lawyers who doesn't flinch. Claire. I'm sorry you're going through this, he begins. But you did the right thing, filing that trust when you did. That's the rope that's going to hang him. I sit straighter. So, what happens now? First, we'll file a motion for emergency injunctive relief. That'll freeze any transactions on the parcel tied to the forged deed. Second, we'll submit a fraud report to the county clerk and begin invalidation proceedings. He pauses like he wants to soften the next part. And third, if you choose to press criminal charges, we'll attach identity theft and document falsification. But that's up to you. I stare out the window. The sky's a hard blue today. Clear, unforgiving. I want every legal option available, and I don't want him to see it coming. Good, Marcus says. Then let him hang himself with silence. After the call, I sit with that sentence a while. Let him hang himself with silence. I like that. At noon, David calls. Hey babe, I need the gate code. The landscaper's here and I guess it reset or something. It didn't reset. I changed it. I pause just long enough for him to feel the delay. Then answer. It's 14:28. He doesn't thank me. just hangs up. I wait 3 beats, then open the security app, watch the video feed. He walks through the gate looking annoyed, says something to the man beside him, a contractor in a neon vest holding blueprints. I zoom in. He's pointing to the southern paddock, the hay barn. That's where her yoga studio was going to go. I watch as the contractor nods, takes photos, gestures toward the fence line. They walk the perimeter like they own it, like I'm not watching them from 5 feet away. That evening, Alyssa texts, "Emergency freeze approved. Any attempt to transfer ownership will be rejected system-wide." And county clerk flagged the deed. Fraud review pending. We're good. I exhale for the first time in 48 hours, not because it's over but because now it's mine again. Officially. Irrevocably. He thinks he's 2 steps ahead. He doesn't know I built the whole board. That night I sleep easy. No dreams. When I wake up the sun's already high and I find David in the kitchen whistling, scrolling his phone like a man who hasn't just committed a felony. "You sleep okay?" he asks, sputtering toast. I nod. "Great, actually." He smiles. "I think we should talk to a realtor soon. Market's heating up, and if we play it right, David," I say. He looks up. I pour my coffee, stir it once. I don't want to talk real estate over breakfast. He tilts his head, all pretend charm. Why not? I take a slow sip, let the pause stretch until it stings. Because I already filed the paperwork. The ranch isn't going anywhere. His smile falters just a bit. What paperwork? I had some things corrected. I stir again. Mistakes in county records. Signatures. You know how that happens. He stares. I shrug. Should be cleared up soon. And then I smile, cool, pleasant, quiet. He stares at me like I just grew teeth. I leave my coffee half full and walk out. He doesn't follow. He knows something's changed. He just doesn't know what yet. But he will. Soon. She shows up at 10:47 a.m. on a Wednesday. A black Escalade rolls up slow to the front gate, tires crunching the gravel like it owns the road. I get the alert on my phone before the door even opens. Tessa steps out in high-end boots, cream suede, probably imported, and walks like someone who's watched too many lifestyle influencers. She's overdressed for a ranch, tight white jeans, big sunglasses, hair that looks professionally curled. The gate's still closed. She stands there a moment looking around, chin tilted up like she's tasting the air. Then she presses the call button. I answer without video. Claire speaking. She smiles at the camera like I can see her. "Hi there. Just wanted to take a look around the new property before the contractors show up. I was told this morning everything should be accessible." My hand tightens around the phone. Contractors. She's not guessing. She thinks this is hers. "Hold please," I say. I don't buzz her in yet. I let her stand there for 20 full seconds. Let the Texas sun work its way into her collar. Let the silence scrape. Then I press the button. Gate opens slow like a warning. She drives in like she owns it. I meet her at the main entrance, arms folded, expression neutral. "Claire, oh, I wasn't sure if you'd be here." I don't answer. I look at her boots. Not made for mud, not made for anything real. She walks up like this is a social visit, like we're just 2 women sipping wine over a fence line, talking lavender and throw pillows. "I just wanted to walk the space," she says, already glancing past me at the barn. "We're thinking of installing a full-length yoga deck across the back slope. South-facing, the light's incredible afternoon." I nod once. "Mind if I walk with you?" She falters. "Not much. Just enough." "Oh, of course. I didn't mean to." "You're fine," I say, just curious what kind of renovations you're imagining. "On my land." Now she's blinking, slowly. Well, the deed's already filed, isn't it?" she says. "David said everything was transferred legally, that the property was part of his assets." I smile, small, measured. "I'm sure he did." She crosses her arms. Her voice sharpens. "I wouldn't have invested my time if I didn't believe the process was complete." "Of course not," I say. "You seem like a very thorough businesswoman." She doesn't know if that's sarcasm, doesn't want to risk assuming wrong. We walk toward the barn. She's trying not to get dirt on her boots. The wind picks up and flutters the collar of her blouse. When we reach the south slope, she stops and spreads her arms like some sort of real estate prophet. "Can you imagine a full glass wall here overlooking the pasture?" I say. "But I'd have to remove all the hay and all the livestock." She turns. Realizes I said I, not we. "Claire," she says now slower, "I think there's some confusion here. David told me this part of the property was under his name, that it was a marital asset not protected. Did he also tell you I majored in finance, that I've been handling this ranch's accounting since before you knew his name? Her lips part slightly. Did he mention the discretionary trust I filed 6 months ago, locking all 228 acres under sole proprietor status? The color drains from her face just a shade. Enough. You're bluffing. Try me. She opens her mouth, closes it, reaches into her purse and pulls out a printed email. She hands it to me like it's proof. It's a contract draft. Unsigned. Useless. I don't think you understand how deep David's involvement really is, she says, voice quieter now. Oh, I say. I understand more than you do. I fold the paper, hand it back. You've been making plans for land that's not yours. I'd be careful with that. Especially if you're putting down deposits. You might want to review Texas fraud statutes. They're harsher than you think. Tessa stares at me. The wind catches her blouse, again flaps it open slightly. She buttons it more from nerves than modesty. You're not going to win this, she says, not sounding sure. I tilt my head. I already did. I just haven't told David yet. She doesn't reply, just glances around like she's suddenly very aware she's standing on someone else's soil. I walk her back to the Escalade, open the gate from my phone. Careful with those boots, I say as she climbs in. This soil remembers its owner. The gate shuts slow behind her. I don't watch her drive away. I just stand there, arms folded, and let the wind move through the field. Most people think I started protecting the ranch after I found out about Tessa. They're wrong. I filed the trust months before her name ever showed up on his call log. Back when David still kissed my shoulder in the mornings. Back when I still believed the way he said we meant us. It started after my uncle died. He left me 80 acres deeded clean without liens but tied up in probate for 3 weeks. During that time, David got curious. I mean, what's the plan? He asked one night, swirling whiskey in a glass he didn't buy. We folding it into the joint account. It was subtle. Just a question, but something in the way he said we sharp eager like a kid eyeing the last piece of cake made my stomach go tight. I told him I'd talk to a lawyer first. He laughed. You think I'm trying to steal your inheritance? I didn't answer, because in that moment I didn't know. But I wasn't willing to risk finding out the hard way. Alyssa connected me to her estate attorney, a woman named Carla, sharp-eyed and quiet. She listened without interrupting, took notes, nodded when I said I just want to make sure this stays in my name. Clean. She leaned forward, pushed a folder toward me. Then let's build a trust. And let's file it like you don't want anyone to find it. We used my maiden name, tied the new 80 acres to a separate EIN, registered the full ranch, including the original 148 acres, under a single family trust. David never asked again. He thought I'd let it roll into the joint assets. That I'd do what his last wife did, trust him until the money disappeared. He didn't know I was raised by a man who kept 3 copies of every deed and buried one in a coffee tin under the porch. 2 months later, I found the texts. Tessa loved yesterday. The ranch is going to be incredible. Don't forget to file those docs. I didn't confront him. I screenshot them. Emailed them to myself. Then I opened the trust file again, reviewed the language and smiled. The land was protected. The assets were frozen under my signature. Even if he tried to move anything, the paper trail would snap shut like a bear trap. Back in the present, I sit in the barn office flipping through the original trust again. The language is airtight, full discretionary control. All transfers require my notarized signature. David forged it, but I never gave it, which means the deed with Tessa's name is as worthless as her yoga plans. I hear a truck pull up David's. I tuck the trust papers back into the lockbox and close the drawer. He walks into the barn like he owns it, sees me at the desk. You okay? He asks, voice too light. You've been quiet lately. I swivel in the chair. Just taking care of paperwork, the stuff you think I don't read. He smiles. Doesn't get the dig. Well, I hope you're not stressing over taxes. I already handled that with the accountant. Sent him the land documents yesterday. I lean back. Cross my arms. What documents? He blinks. The ones Tessa helped me file. He watches me now, waiting for a reaction. But I've been waiting longer. And did Tessa also advise you to commit felony fraud? His smile fades. I continue, voice even. I spoke with the county clerk. The transfer was flagged. The records are frozen. You submitted a forged deed with my name on it. That's a crime, David. He opens his mouth, closes it. Claire, I didn't think it was a big deal. You're overreacting. It's our land. No, it's mine. Legally, fully, tied to a trust you have no access to. He steps forward. You don't need to do this. We're married. You're blowing this out of proportion. Are you telling me you didn't try to give my inheritance to your mistress? Silence. His jaw works. His hands curl at his sides. I thought we could expand. Bring in outside help. I stand. You thought I'd roll over. Like your first wife did. Like Tessa will when the market crashes. Claire. I walk past him. This conversation's over. And for your sake, don't bring any more contractors onto my land. Next time, I'll call the sheriff instead of the gate code. He watches me go, but he doesn't follow. He's finally starting to realize the ground under him isn't just shifting. It's gone. 2 days later, the letter arrives. I print it myself. Cream paper. Heavy. Official. Not because I had to, but because it should feel real when he opens it. I want the weight of the consequences to press down on his fingertips the moment he slides it from the envelope. The letterhead is Marcus's, Alyssa's firm, black serif font, crisp spacing, full legal authority. Subject formal, notice of fraudulent property transfer and intent to invalidate deed. It sounds dry, legal, sterile, but the subtext screams. I leave it on his side of the table, folded, sealed, centered like a funeral card. I don't say a word. I make dinner simple. Rice and grilled chicken. We eat in silence. Halfway through he sees it, reaches for it like he already knows. His fingers hesitate on the flap. I watch the pause. The moment he decides whether to open it now or later. He opens it, reads the first few lines. His fork drops to the plate. He doesn't look up. Not yet. He reads every word. Slowly. Twice. Then, this is a joke. I sip my water. It's not. He looks up. You got lawyers involved. No, I say. I got protection involved. Lawyers are just the delivery method. His face flushes red, the kind that starts at the collar and creeps upward. You're treating me like a criminal. You forged my signature, transferred land you didn't own. You are a criminal. He stands, pushes the chair back too hard. This is my house too. No, I say calmly. It's not. His eyes flash. You're overreacting. Tessa said we could make it work. I cut him off. Stop. Just stop. Don't bring her name into this house again. He shakes his head, pacing now. She believed in the plan, in the brand. You were stuck in the past. We needed to modernize. I laugh once sharp. Modernize. By stealing my land and handing it to your side project with a social media following. He points at me, jabbing the air. You never saw the vision. Oh, I saw it. I just didn't realize the vision included cutting me out. He drops his hand. Silence. I stand. Walk to the sink. The letter's still on the table behind me, but I feel it like a loaded weapon. You'll be hearing from the county, I say. The fraud claim's active. The deed is frozen. If you or she try to touch a single acre, we'll press charges. He mutters, you wouldn't. I dry my hands slowly. I would, and I already started. He's breathing heavy now, chest rising, falling like he just finished a race he didn't know he was running. I gave you everything, he says suddenly. I fixed your fences. I ran this place when you were falling apart after your dad died. You also lied, manipulated, slept with someone 20 years younger and then tried to steal what wasn't yours. I made this ranch profitable. No, I snap. I did. While you were printing fake invoices and playing contractor with a woman who thinks eucalyptus oil repels coyotes. He goes still. The quiet between us is thick, heavy with all the years I let things slide. Then he says it. You'll ruin me. I stare straight ahead. You ruined yourself. I'm just holding up the mirror. He grabs the letter, folds it back too hard, shoves it in his jacket. You'll regret this, he mutters. No, I say calm again. You will. He storms out. I don't follow. I rinse the plates, wipe the counters. By the time I hear his truck peel out of the driveway, the kitchen is spotless. The air feels lighter, still tense but clear. Like a storm passed without breaking a window. That night I light a fire. Just me and the dogs. No TV, no music. Just the crackle and the slow burn of quiet power returning to the room. I sit with my legs curled under me, sipping tea. The warmth seeps into my bones. The coffee's long gone. The cold silence that followed it gone too. What's left is strategy. And patience. He thinks he still has time. That I'll back down once it's real. But he doesn't know how much real I've already faced. He doesn't know how far I'm willing to go to protect what was mine before he ever laid eyes on it. David doesn't come home that night. I wake up to silence. No keys jangling, no boots by the door, no cheap cologne clinging to the sheets. By mid-morning, I get the email from Alyssa, confirmed accounts frozen. both personal and joint business lines. No withdrawal possible without trusty override, he'll know soon. I sip my tea, slowly watching the trees sway outside the window. The world feels different now, like the air is moving around me, not through me. At 1:17 p.m. I get the first text, Claire. Why the hell can't I access the ranch account? Then I have payroll this week. This isn't just you anymore. You're dragging the employees into this. Then you're being vindictive. This could have been quiet. I don't reply. He made noise. I'm just letting the echoes catch up. By evening, Alyssa calls. He tried to wire funds through the livestock account. Denied. Then called the bank and claimed it was a mistake. They flagged it. I smile without meaning to. And the line of credit frozen too. You triggered a trustee hold across all joint assets. You're the only authorized signer on the ranch accounts now. He'd need a court order to override it. I look out the window. How long until he figures out he's out of options? There's a pause. That depends on how much he's been lying to himself. At 5:46 p.m. the truck pulls up. He walks in like someone expecting a fight. Jacket slung over his shoulder, mouth tight. No hello. Did you freeze the accounts? I look up from the kitchen table. I've been reading. Quiet, comfortable. Not even pretending to flinch. Yes. He tosses the jacket onto the chair. You think this is smart. You think you're winning. I don't think anything I say. I know the law. You forged a deed. You tried to transfer property that wasn't yours. You moved money without consent. All I did was stop the bleeding. He scoffs. Bleeding, Claire, this is sabotage. You're burning the whole damn thing down just to make a point. No, I say calmly. I'm removing your hands from the controls, because every time you touch something it breaks. His jaw clenches. You think a few lawyers scare me? No, I say, but the IRS might. That hits. I see it in his eyes. Because we both know about the consulting fees he funneled through Tessa. We both know there are receipts. The next morning I meet with Marcus on Zoom. He's already filed the fraud documentation with the county registrar. It's in process. Within weeks the fake deed will be nullified, removed from public record. David will have no legal ties to the land. Not even a whisper. You want to move forward with the civil suit too? Marcus asks. I nod. He won't feel it unless it costs him something. He smiles small and respectful. Good. Then we'll proceed. After the call, I sit in the barn office. I print the county acknowledgement letter and tack it to the bulletin board above the supply receipts. Proof. For me. For the walls. For history. Later that afternoon, David tries again. He comes to the barn. Stands in the doorway like he owns the place. I've got buyers lined up for the east lot, he says. We can walk away with 6 figures if we move fast. I don't even look up from the ledger. There is no east lot for you to sell. He steps inside. You really want to do this. You already did this. I'm just cleaning it up. He throws up his hands. Jesus, Claire, I built this with you. You think this place would have survived the drought without me? I finally look at him. No, it wouldn't have. But the drought didn't break us. You did. He goes quiet. I stand. Walk to the feed cabinet, start counting inventory. You're cut off, I say without turning around. Legally, financially, emotionally. There's nothing here left for you to touch. His voice drops. And what about what we built? I turn. We stopped existing the minute you signed my name without asking. He stares at me. Something falters in his face. Like maybe, just maybe, he didn't think I'd follow through, but I did. And I will. That night he sleeps in the guest room. I hear the door click shut. I don't move. The house feels bigger now. Quieter. Cleaner. The accounts are frozen. The fraud is filed. And for the first time since this began, I know exactly what I'll do next. He waits until Saturday morning to try it. That's when he knows I'll be out. I always go to the feed store early. Routines never changed. I come back at 9:17 a.m. and see it right away. A thick manila envelope center of the kitchen table. My name in bold letters across the front. Claire Madsen. It's not sealed. That's the first tell. He wants me to open it. Inside, a packet of financial projections, mock-ups of a ranch to retreat transition plan, Tessa's branding notes printed in color, a personal letter handwritten. I unfold the pages, skim the numbers. He spent hours on this, maybe days. Graphs, names of potential investors, estimates of guest traffic. It's clean, polished. Too late. Then the letter, Claire, I know things got out of hand. I made mistakes, but this doesn't have to end in fire. This ranch can be more. You and I built something good, don't let it rot out of spite. Let's do it together, not just for us, but for the land, for the future. Let's be smart. David, no, I'm sorry. No ownership. Just one more pitch. He doesn't get it. This isn't business. It's betrayal with a letterhead. I leave the envelope on the table. Don't touch it again. I go out to the paddock. The sky is overcast, the kind of gray that makes everything feel paused. The horses are restless, sensing the same shift I do. At 10:05, I hear his truck door slam. He walks into the barn without knocking. Like always. Did you read it? He asks. I wipe dust from the saddle horn. I did. And nothing. We're past negotiation. He steps closer. This plan could save us both. There is no us, I say without turning. Just a man trying to get a second chance at land he never earned. His voice hardens. You're being prideful. Emotional. You think this place will run forever on principle. I finally face him. You think I built this place on principle, I say. No, David. I built it on math, on years of ledgers, on survival, on choosing what to let go of and what to protect. You don't get to pitch me spreadsheets like they erase what you did. He shifts uncomfortable, the weight of the moment settling in. I never wanted to hurt you, he says. It got complicated. No, I say cold. It got greedy. He lowers his eyes. That's new. Then softly, I don't know how to fix this. I inhale slow. You don't. I do. And that's exactly why you're no longer part of the equation. He doesn't speak. The barn fills with silence, the kind that stretches and bends and breaks people open. Finally, I gesture toward the door. You should go. He hesitates like he wants to say more, but there's nothing left. He turns, walks out without slamming the door. That's how I know it's really over. At noon, Alyssa calls. County registrar flagged his second attempt, she says. He tried to submit a development claim. Used your name again. I close my eyes. And blocked. System auto rejected. It's over. I open them. Outside, the horses are calm again. I walk back to the kitchen and look at the envelope still sitting there. His last attempt. Not to fix things, to convince me I still needed him. I pick it up, flip it over, and slide it into the shredder. Gone in seconds. No more graphs. No more false futures, just the hum of the blades doing what they're meant to do, destroy what doesn't belong. It's Monday morning when I walk into the county clerk's office. No makeup, no heels, just jeans, boots, and a denim jacket older than my marriage. The woman at the front desk recognizes me. Claire Madsen, she says friendly. I nod. Here to file. She waves me through to the back window. The clerk behind the glass doesn't smile, but she's efficient. Name of filing, she asks. Civil suit, I say. Property fraud, attempted unauthorized transfer, forgery. She types, keys clacking like a countdown. Defendant. I pause for half a second. David Madsen. Husband. Soon to be ex. She doesn't flinch. Just hands me a form. Sign and date. Will notify the registrar and initiate the claim through county records. You'll get the hearing schedule by Thursday. My pen doesn't hesitate. I sign like I've been waiting years. Because I have. Outside, the sky's clear, cold but honest. I call Marcus. Filed it, I say. It's real now. Good, he says. They'll serve him this week. Quietly. Process server knows the drill. What about public record? He pauses. Once the filing's processed, it'll show up on the docket site. Anyone searching his name will see it. No way to hide it. Good. I want him to feel what it's like to lose control in public. To have the truth show up when someone Googles him. By Wednesday, the docket posts, Madsen v. Madsen, property dispute, civil, fraud filed, date, plaintiff Claire A. Madsen, defendant David C. Madsen. The news travels faster than I expect. Small towns don't run on facts. They run on whispers. By Friday, 2 ranch hands ask quietly if everything's all right. I tell them yes, and I mean it. He finds out around noon. I know because the text comes in 3 words. You filed it. I don't respond. An hour later, he calls. I let it ring. Then again, then a voicemail. Claire, I get it. Okay, I get that you're angry, but dragging this through court, do you really want everyone to know our business? What does that solve? Another pause. You're better than this. Just talk to me, please. I delete it. Because what he doesn't understand is this isn't about anger anymore. This is about ending it on my terms. Not his, not hers. Not some spreadsheet future where I smile politely while they erase me from my own legacy. On Saturday, I get a certified envelope. His response filed through his attorney. They're requesting mediation. Marcus reviews it. Expected. He'll stall. Try to settle out of court so this never makes it to hearing. Do we need to respond, I ask. He laughs softly. We will. But not with compromise. Sunday night, I sit alone in the barn, just me and the sound of horses breathing slow and steady. I light the small lantern, open the trust again. It still feels good in my hands. Heavy, permanent, like I did something right when it counted most. By Tuesday, the notice is posted on the courthouse board. Black and white, name and case number, clear for everyone to see. David calls again. This time he doesn't leave a voicemail. That silence. That's the beginning of the end. Later that evening, I open the drawer where I keep my father's old photo. Him standing in the field, boots caked in dirt, holding a newborn colt in his arms. He built this land with calluses and grit. I protected it with law and patience. Different tools, same spine. I sit by the window that night, watch the porch lights flicker on. Feel the weight of momentum finally shifting. He tried to take everything. Now he can't even take a phone call without hearing the word lawsuit. And I'm just getting started. The envelope arrives on a Thursday. Cream paper, black ink, county seal embossed on the flap. Notice of hearing civil fraud. Madsen v. Madsen, date March 14th. Time, 9:00 a.m. Location, Travis County Courthouse, room 3B. I read it twice. Not because I don't understand, because I want to feel it. It's real. It's scheduled. And now it's public. I don't tell him. Let the process server do it. According to Marcus, it happened at his gym. Served in front of a mirrored wall next to a row of men lifting weights and pretending not to notice. David signed for the envelope and walked straight out without finishing his set. Tessa wasn't with him. She never is anymore. Rumor is she left town, or ran out of patience. Either way, she hasn't posted a ranch inspo update in weeks. Maybe the silence is catching up with both of them. On Monday, David's lawyer submits a motion for delay, claims the defendant needs time to gather and verify documentation. Marcus files a one-line objection. All documents were already obtained through public channels. No cause for delay. Motion denied. Hearing holds. I start preparing. Not just emotionally, strategically. I print out every photo, every text, every invoice he tried to sneak through the contractor fund. I highlight the fake signature on the forged deed, circle the notary seal. Alyssa walks me through every line of the trust language again. You're clean, she says. Judge will see it in 5 minutes. And him, he's hoping to settle. He won't. Good. I don't want a deal. I want a ruling. On record. Permanent. A week before the hearing, he calls. I let it ring, then he sends a message. Let's talk before the court date, just us. No lawyers. I type and delete my reply 4 times. Then I send no. 1 word, full stop. That's all he gets. 3 days before court, I get a letter in the mail. No return address, his handwriting. Inside is a check. $83,700 labeled partial compensation. Tucked with it is a note. Claire, I was wrong. I lost sight of everything that mattered. I know I can't fix it all, but I wanted to show you I meant what I said. Please don't destroy me. David, I stare at it. Fold the check in half. Set it on the windowsill. I don't need his apology. What I need is for the system to do what it rarely does, protect the woman who saw it coming and built the walls anyway. The night before court, I polish my boots. Not for show. For me, because they're the same boots I wore the day my father let me ride alone across the west pasture. The day he handed me the reins and said, "Land only stays yours if you treat it like blood." Now I know what he meant. March 14th, 7:42 a.m. I arrive at the courthouse early. Hair tied back, simple blouse, black jeans, the trust document in my hand like armor. Marcus meets me at the stairs, calm suited, already carrying 2 folders. You ready? I was born. Ready, I say. He smiles. At 8:59, David walks in. Alone. No Tessa. No investors. No smile. He looks smaller, like the walls around him have finally closed in. We don't speak. At 9:03, the judge enters. The hearing takes exactly 46 minutes. David's lawyer tries to argue implied consent, says the ranch was functionally shared, that Claire gave verbal approval for the development plans. Marcus calmly hands over the trust document, then the notarized timeline, then the forged deed. The judge's eyes narrow. You filed this, with her name signed by proxy. David doesn't answer. His lawyer fumbles. Marcus leans forward, voice even. Your Honor, the plaintiff's name was used without consent on a document transferring ownership of property she solely owns under legal trust. The defendant was not just unauthorized, he was fully excluded under binding legal structure. Silence. Then the judge nods. Understood. At 9:49 a.m., the ruling is read. Deed invalidated. Title restored exclusively to Claire A. Madsen. Motion to pursue civil damages approved. Temporary injunction placed on the defendant's access to the property effective immediately. David says nothing. I look at him once, brief, cold. Enough. Then I walk out of the courtroom and into the sunlight, and for the first time in months I feel my boots hit the ground and know this land is mine again. He doesn't come back right away. After the hearing, there's nothing left for him here, not legally, not emotionally, not even logistically. The injunction is airtight. Marcus made sure of it. No entry, no contact, no exception. But 3 weeks later, on a windless Tuesday afternoon, he shows up anyway. Not at the house, not at the barn, at the old fence line. The boundary that divides the east pasture from the gravel road. He stands on the other side, just far enough to not violate the order. I see him from the kitchen window. He's not wearing a hat. Just jeans and a black t-shirt. No truck in sight. He came on foot. I wait 10 minutes before I walk out. Slowly. When I reach the edge of the field, he raises a hand. Doesn't wave. Just holds it there like a question. I stop 6 feet from the fence. Boots planted. Hands still. You're not supposed to be here, I say. I'm not, he replies. I know that. Silence. Then I just wanted to see it one last time. I glance past him. The road is empty. The grass behind him hasn't been trimmed. The cattle guards are rusted. I look back at him. It never belonged to you, David. He nods, not defensive, just tired. I thought if I built it with you, it would become mine. I thought work counted. I don't answer. Not yet, because I know what he means. And I know he's wrong. I didn't realize how far you'd go to keep it, he says. I narrow my eyes. I went as far as I needed to. And you bet against your own wife. You gambled my name like it was free. He nods again, slower this time. I was angry. I felt small. I wanted something that wasn't mine to fix something I didn't know how to name. And you dragged her into it, I say. I dragged myself into it. He looks down at the fence post, runs his hand along the weathered wood. I never thought you'd take it all. I didn't, I reply. You left it behind. I just made sure you couldn't come back for it. His jaw works, like he wants to argue, but there's nothing left to say. I won't fight the injunction, he mutters, and I won't appeal. Good. He takes a step back, hands in pockets now. I loved you, he says, in my own broken way. I nod once. I love the version of you that didn't lie. That hits him, square in the chest, and for a moment we just stand there. Not as husband and wife, not as plaintiff and defendant, just as two people at the edge of something they can't cross anymore. I'll go now, he says. You won't see me again. I don't move. David. He stops. I meet his eyes. For the first time in weeks. You could have built something of your own, but you tried to steal what was already sacred. He nods once, then walks away. No dramatic turn. No last word. Just footsteps down a gravel road that doesn't belong to him anymore. That night I sit on the porch, mug of tea in hand. The dogs are quiet. The sky is the soft kind of orange that only comes in spring when the cold finally lets go. I watch the east pasture. For the first time in a long time, there's no tension, no watchfulness, just stillness. I pull out the file folder one last time, the suit, the injunction, the invalidated deed, then I do something I've waited months to do. I close it, slide it back into the drawer, lock it. Then I go outside barefoot in the grass, the ground cool and real beneath me. This ranch isn't a prize, it isn't a weapon. It's mine because I chose to protect it when no one else would. Because I remembered what my father said, land is memory. If you lose it, you lose more than dirt. Tonight I remember everything, and I don't lose a damn thing. The wind changed after he left. Not in a dramatic way, no thunder, no storm. Just a soft shift in the air. Like the ranch finally exhaled after months of holding its breath. The gate stayed closed for a while, not out of fear but out of choice. I needed time to let the stillness settle, to learn the shape of silence without bracing for intrusion. It's strange how quickly peace becomes the loudest sound in your day when you've lived in the shadow of someone else's hunger. I fix things slowly. The east fence line is the first. I walk it myself, hammer and wire in hand. The post he leaned on the last time we spoke is still weathered and cracked. I don't replace it. I let it stand. A marker. A scar. A reminder that not every break needs mending. Some just need to be remembered. At the county office, the civil ruling becomes official. Final judgment, property retained in full by Claire A. Madsen, damages awarded $31,000, legal fees covered in full. David never contested it, never showed up again. The court cut the check 3 weeks later. I donated half to a local women's legal aid fund. Because not every woman has a Carla or a Marcus, and not every woman gets to keep her land. Some of them lose everything before they even know it's happening. Not me. Not this time. Summer arrives soft, the kind that grows slow and wide. I plant new lavender along the slope behind the barn. The same place Tessa once imagined her yoga deck. It grows wild, stubborn, free, just like I did. At the feed store people talk. They always do. But the tone changed. Now they look me in the eye, ask about fence work, cattle sales, hay schedules. No pity, no whispers, just respect. Earned, not requested. One of the older ranchers, Mike Foster, stops me by the mineral block section. You handled it clean, he says. Could have torched it all. You didn't. I had matches, I reply. Didn't need fire, he nods. That's all. That's enough. At night, I sit on the porch with my boots off feet on the rail. The stars come in heavier now. The sky feels closer somehow. Sometimes I talk to my dad, not out loud, just in that quiet place you go when you're alone and honest. I tell him I almost lost it, not the land I locked that down, but myself. I almost forgot I was never the kind of woman you raised to be taken. He already knows. The dog sleeps soundly again. No trucks in the driveway, no voices behind walls, just breath grass and the rhythm of a life I carved out of betrayal and turned into sovereignty. There's no revenge here, no final blow, just me, standing exactly where I was when it all started, only stronger, quieter, wiser, still standing and finally fully free.